All right, folks, let's talk about this here. In the previous problem, we found the limiting reactant by figuring out which one gave us the least number of products. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. If I give you an equation that has 2Ag plus 1I2 gives you 2AgI, so this is 2 atoms of silver plus 1 molecule of I2 gives you 2 of these AgI units here. The question is, if I give you 1 gram of each, how much product can you actually make of the silver iodide? So, the secret is you got to find the amount of product of each one. So let's go through it. You have start with 1 gram of silver, go from grams to moles of silver to moles of silver iodide. This is the heart of the equation. If you can get here, you're in good shape. We could compare the moles, but I'm going to have you go all the way to grams, and I'll show you why. Really, it's just going to help the next equation go by quicker. Once you find the grams, the moles of AgI, convert to grams of silver iodide, and then you get your theoretical yield of silver iodide. This is if everything goes great. If I had 1 gram of silver, I should be able to make 2.18 grams of silver iodide. That's as long as I have enough of the other one. Let's do the same thing with I2. 1 gram of I2, let's go from grams to moles of I2 to moles of silver iodide, and then moles of silver iodide to grams of silver iodide. And then you do the math and you get to 1.85. Which one of these is gives you least product? That's right. It's like Dora the Explorer. That's right, Diego. 1.85 grams of AgI. Right. This tells us that this is the maximum we can make. We can't make more than our limiting reactant lets us, because this tells us that iodine is the limiting reactant, the LR. Okay. I had you convert it all the way to grams. You could compare the moles of product to find the limiting reactant, and if the question is something like find the limiting reactant, you can just stop at this level and compare the moles. But sometimes the equation will say, well, what's the theoretical yield? And this is the theoretical yield in grams. And then sometimes in the lab, they're going to have you calculate the percent yield, which is basically how well did your experiment go. And the way you calculate it is what you get in the lab divided by the theoretical times 100. It's how much of the actual did you get. Say you're in the lab and you get 1.50 grams of silver iodide, but you really want, the best possible number is 1.85. So you divide these 2 times 100, and that gives you about 81%. So that's an 81% yield, not too shabby. Some labs, it's great if you get 50%. Some labs, it's great if you get 90%. So it depends on the lab, it depends on the day.